Hey everybody, welcome to Days with Jen. I was going to do this video yesterday and didn't. 'Cause I had a lot going on and paperwork to do, but I ended up getting a job finally. So my videos may not be weekly or they may switch times. But if you hit the bell notifications, like and subscribe, so every time I upload a video, you'll be the first to know it. Today we are actually going to make a coaster. It is getting warm outside, so I've been drying out a little more than normal. So like every project, we're going to have our yarn. Now, I can't remember what color this is, but this is 100% cotton. Now, you've heard me talk about cotton being able to take heat for like pot holders and to be able to put hot dishes on the table. They absorb the heat. But these here also absorb cold. Compared to acrylic, they get wet and it takes forever for those to dry. These here, they get dirty, you can throw them in the wash and dry just as you normally would with your clothes. And I think it was like Sunburst or something. I can't fully remember, but it was a summer one. I'm using my size H hook today, pair of scissors, my tape measure, and of course, our yarn needle for sewing in our ends. So with this project, you can actually do it 2 different ways. I know my neck's been bugging me, so my head's kind of awkward right now. You can either start by doing a knot or like a loop here, and you can chain 4 to 5, depending on what you want with your ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do one more 5. Yeah, I think 5 is pretty good there, depending if you want to use a size H. Now, if you want a little bit of a smaller stitch, you can go down a size. If you want a little bit of a bigger stitch, you can go up a size. So you can use anywhere from G, H, and I. But today for this, I'm using my size H hook. Now, the coasters, like a lot of my hats, I prefer to do the magic circle. So we're going to do this like I've showed you before, but we're going to show you again. We're going to put that over our hand and hold it with our thumb. Got a little bit of a tail. Separate these two and these 2 fingers so it goes around, and it's going to crisscross. We're going to go up and go in between our ring finger and our pinky. And we already have the crisscross here. So again, I'm going to go underneath the first row there, and I'm going to go up to the second, and I'm going to pull down. So that's going to kind of crisscross, but then I'm going to twist to hold that in place. I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to slide that through, and that gives me my ring to start. And it's okay if you have a little bit more of a bigger tail. So for this project, we're going to start with, let's see, 1, 2. We're going to start doing, okay, we're going to use a crochet 3 chain. So it'll be a chain of 3 there for our first double crochet. So we're going to do 11 more double crochets in this ring. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, and cotton, like acrylic, sometimes can be a little bit of a pain too, because it sometimes likes to split on you, especially if it's been sitting too long. So I think I've got 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to tighten my loop up just a little bit. So we got 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there we go. So 12. So we're going to go ahead and tighten up our hole. So that hole is done. We're going to look here at our chain, and we've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go up to the third loop. And sometimes it's because the way it does this with the V's, sometimes it's hard to see if you can get it in there. And we're going to do a slip stitch. So that is our first round for our coaster. So we're going to chain 3, 2, 3. For this project, if you're just doing a single one, like I just have a little bit of this color, so I can, and we're going to go and double crochet into the same hole, and we're going to do 2 stitches in every loop around here, around the circle. So when you get to the begin or the end here, you should have a total of 24 stitches. And as a lot of you know, I like to actually to do these stitches with you. So let's see where we're at. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And we do have that false stitch right there. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to look for our top stitch right there. So right here is our third stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Even with the size H, I do crochet a little bit tighter than normal. That most people do, but I like tighter stitches, especially when I'm doing things like this. So this is what the beginning, the first 2 rows of your coaster should look like. So and that's why I said, depending on how far you want your stitches or how you want them to look, that's why I said with this kind of project, you can use a size G to a size I for this project. So we're going to go ahead and do 3 single crochets going up. So we're going to chain 3 there. This time, when we get done, because we start out with 12 double crochets, then we upped it to 24. Now we're going to up it to 36. So we have 1 here. So we're going to do a second crochet. And this might be the final round for what we're doing today for me. So we're going to do another double crochet in the same loop there. Then we're going to do 1. So it gives us our 3. Then we're going to do on the next one, do 2 double crochets. And then we're going to do 1. So this gives us 6. We're going to do 2 in the same hole and then 1. And that is going to be your repeat pattern all the way around till you get back to the beginning here, or the end of the last stitch. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if you are doing it right. Oops. Eighteen, 21. So that way you know right where I'm at with my stitches. 22, 23. So that's 28. 2 more in the next one, 29, 30. We're going to do 1 single crochet on the next, or double crochet, sorry, in the as a single in the loop. So it'll be 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet. So this will make 32, and then 1, 33, 34, 35. And the last one will be a single stitch here. Now you can kind of see where it did do that a little bit, but I'm going to do this right here. There is 36. So for this here, let me see what approximately how big it is. So when I take my measuring tape and I go from side to side, it is about 4 inches across, which is big enough to hold a soda can or a small cup of coffee. So we're going to go ahead, go to the top here. We're going to go ahead and do our slip stitch. And we're going to slip stitch, and then we're going to do yarn over and slip stitch again. We're going to take our scissors, snip that off. We're going to pull this loop through. So then we're going to take our yarn needle. My coasters a lot of times is just for me right now. Plus, if you want to get more crocheting practice in the round, coasters are a very good idea to do. So I'm going to go underneath in between the first 12 stitches that we did. And of course, the end doesn't always want to come out. So, yep. So we're going to go ahead and I try to do at least 1 full row around in between to do the tail here. Plus, it also helps keep your middle there closed so you don't have other issues going on. So we're going to go back, just loop kind of over because nobody really pays attention to the back. So I'm going to go through that one and go back 1 more there. So that way I went around 1 way, all the way, and then I went back just a few stitches. So then we're going to take our second one here that we just cut, and we're going to stitch this in. If I can get this to even work. Sometimes the yarn does not like to work with the needles, so that's why I have various sizes of the yarn needles. So for this, I'm going to look at the back here. I'm going to go in right here. I'm going to slide on down and do a couple stitches right here in the orange underneath. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to go crossed on the back there. That kind of closes that up a little bit. I'm going to go up and go back through on the bottom here. So you're seeing kind of how I'm doing this. So I'm just kind of weaving it in and out to kind of hold it together and to close any real big gaps I have there, which I'm doing right now. So I just closed that gap up a little bit. And so sometimes these needles do not want to work the way I want them to. So that might come loose, but I'm going to go ahead and snip off my end. And there is our coaster for cold or hot drinks. Now, if you want to make it bigger, you can do a fourth round, and that would be doing 2 double crochet in the single loop. Then you'd be doing 1 double crochet, another double crochet to make 4. Then you would start that pattern all over again with 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1 until you had 48 stitches for your fourth row. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Just learning how to make a coaster. You know, you don't always have to go out and buy coasters or buy certain things. If you have cotton yarn, you can make really nice placemats, coasters, like I said, dishcloths, hot pads. You'd be amazed at what you can make. Until next time, I hope you have a fabulous week and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.